All right, everybody. Today is the day. It's a big day for us today. It's our third client success interview of the Barber Mentor Academy. And this is my client, Dylan Fleury. He is a barber in Roseville, California. He has a barber shop called Refuge Barbers. And we're super excited to be doing this interview today. Dylan has gotten some extraordinary results in the program. He's put the work in, he's created some amazing content, and he has put every single strategy that we have in the program to use. So, with those results being said, Dylan has been a barber for the last 12 years, and he's been relying on organic marketing methods to grow his business. You know, the handshakes, the business cards, the referrals, and it just wasn't quite enough. So, when me and Dylan very first met, we chatted about the problems that he was experiencing in his business, obviously his client acquisition. He wanted to grow his business to make some more money, but also to help more people, bring more people into his business to grow his brand. And over the last 96 days that we've worked together, Dylan has got an extraordinary 176 new clients total into his business. He's
Great.
hit two back-to-back $10,000 months, which we're super happy for him for. And we figured out the math that in that 96 days, he's done 68 days working in the shop. And in that 68 days that he's worked in the shop, we figured out that he's gotten 2.58 new clients a day. So, with that being said, he's gotten 683 new clients to his Instagram, and he's converted a lot of those followers into paying clients. So, just a big round of applause for Dylan. Super pumped to have got this opportunity to work with you and help you grow your business. But I'll let you say a little bit more about yourself and let the audience know who you are.
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty wild to hear all of those numbers because a few years or a few months ago, I was in a place where it's kind of a long story. Maybe we get into, but I was coming back to cutting hair, and I had hit up a lot of my pre-existing clients, and I think I only had about like low 50s. I only had like 50 clients at that time, like recurring, and being not, I guess you could say like old school barber, just always working, always being behind the chair, just in busy barber shops. That was kind of more of like the walk-in era. And then even as we were doing appointments, it was just kind of like in good situations to where the clients would come to me and the other barbers I was working with. But you never really develop or learn this skill of client acquisition and marketing, and some people might have a little bit more of a knack for it if they're like posting on IG, which I was always a fan of, and I always, kind of knew the value was there, but I just didn't have like a strategy or an intentionality with it, and so I just was kind of like all or nothing, and I just chose nothing. I never utilized it, and let alone ads. That was kind of like not even in my wheelhouse at all. So, anyways, coming back into it, I was, really in a place, even financially, for myself and my family, where I was like really needing a change. And so, yeah, I mean, really, really grateful that not only that I found you, Kyle, but that the strategies that you told me would work, they actually worked. You know, like I remember even just through the message when I had reached out to you, like I kind of just told you a little bit about where I was at, and like I'm completely confident that I can help you with your business and with getting new clients. I'm like, even if I only get half of what this guy can say, like say that he can help me do, that'd be a win. Because I think there's, other marketing strategies that would seemingly cost more and kind of even have like a lower return. And so, um, yeah, it's kind of like I have a whole new skill and confidence in barbering and business, and kind of at the place now where, my goal was to like, okay, I was on the wait list to get into the shop of where I'm getting into now. So I was like, man, that'd be really great to have like a full booming clientele again, kind of like how I did a few years back. But that was also kind of because I was charging too low, not because my marketing was really good. But anyways, get back to this busy clientele and then translate that into getting my own shop and then getting other barbers. And so now, knowing what I know now with the marketing and kind of understanding sales in kind of a deeper way, it just gives you that much more confidence of scaling your business kind of on demand if and when you want to, and then even helping out, excuse me, helping out other people who are, working with you and wanting to come and work in my shop. They can have confidence like, wow, this guy's gotten that many new clients in this amount of time. Like, I want to be a part of that, and then they get to benefit from that as well. So, yeah, it's really cool, like I said, to hear all those numbers, and it's nothing short of a miracle.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I gotta say, those numbers are definitely there. But like you said, most importantly is you've gained a new skill set to take forward with yourself within your business. And I think that's one of the most important things is barbers. We've obviously focused on, learning our skill set of giving really amazing haircuts, but also having really great customer service and getting those return clientele and building our business in that manner. But once you figure out, the advertising and marketing, and now with your back end of your business, it's been dialed in for years, but now you get that top of the funnel mastered. Now you understand business as a whole. You put all those aspects together, and now you just really know how to kick ass within business, and that's something that is super important when it comes to scaling into the future. So yeah, I'm super pumped that we're on this call here today. But let's jump in. I got some questions for you. And like I said before, I want just all your honesty with that, and the results that we've gotten you within the program and the coaching. So first things first, question is going to be: are you happy with the results that you have gotten and the new skill sets you have learned inside of the Barber Mentor Academy?
In all honesty, I couldn't be happier.
Let's go.
Extremely happy, extremely satisfied. Um, you know, like I said, I really feel like it was just, meant to happen, and uh, nothing short of a miracle that our path to cross. Like, I'm so grateful for it, because I don't know where my life, my business, everything else would be, like personally, we're even kind of in a positions where we're going to be kind of buying a house soon, and my business and my income doubling wouldn't have even put me in a position to be able to take on that mortgage. But now I'm in the position where I'm able to do something like that, So I could go on and on about it, but to answer your question, super satisfied, super happy, 100%.
Let's go. And you know what? It makes me feel good too, because obviously, well, the whole basis of this program came from was myself having this exact same problem, putting these strategies to use for myself, knowing that it worked for me. And if it worked for me, then I know it'll work for others. And then just to see the results that you've gotten, to see that, then it's like, okay, this could universally work for anyone, because at the end of the day, the way I look at it is business is business. We could go to barber school, but we didn't go to business school. But this is just pretty much the learnings of that. And any barber that puts this to use will be able to scale their business and earn more of an income based off of solving those problems for those people that have them.
Absolutely.
So, second question: what was the biggest problem in your business that you were experiencing before joining the Barber Mentor Academy?
Biggest problem in the business. Um, well, not I don't want to go too deep with it, but like, other than myself, as far as like my own kind of mindset and perspective, um, kind of like coming back into barbering. So to make a long story short, I cut hair for 11, 12 years. And then I took a 10-month break. I was going to try another I was going to do another business, partially because I had just always thought about doing something else, but it was, mindset, and also, I didn't really just feel like that much of a business owner. I didn't really feel like I kind of had that much growth potential. I didn't really feel like I could scale, and um, having a shop, having my own shop just kind of seemed far off. And so, anyways, I stopped cutting hair. And then after 10 months, I realized that I just wasn't happy, wasn't making money with what I was doing. And thank God I made the decision to come back to barbering. So once I kind of changed that within myself, just like my mindset and belief and my perspective about barbering, which you actually really helped me with too as well, Kyle, is just like the motivation, the seeing a vision, going after it, setting the goal, and like staying consistent. And they can, knowing those things that you want in your future, the consistency is what's going to be a big factor of helping you get there. Um, so anyways, once that was kind of settled, I feel like it was just gaining new clients. I just needed to get new clients, and really had no idea of how to go about that. Um, yeah, I don't know what I would have done. I would have just probably like we said, like had a bunch of business cards, flyers, and I mean maybe a little post on my own personal IG, but it's like it wouldn't have been very fruitful, you know? And so yeah, I'd say the biggest problem was not being busy enough and not having any skill or knowledge of being able to implement a like actually legitimate strategy of being able to acquire clients.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
not
not
having
the
the client
client
acquisition
acquisition
funnel
funnel
or
or
the
the
information on how
information
to
on
put
how to
that
put
into
that
your
into your
business.
business
And really,
and
like I think about how simple it is to put it into your business.
business.
At the end of the day, it's actually easier than going and handing out business cards. And it's funny that you said that because when one of my very first barbershops I had when I very first moved to Kelowna, I didn't know this information. So what I did every single day after work was I would go across the parking lot where the Good Life was, and I printed off a stack of like, you know, whatever, giving haircuts, and this is what I do, and da da da, and the location. And I would every night I put them in the car windshield wipers,
Mhm.
but I almost felt, and then I'd go into the gym and I put them in each one of the lockers of the change room. So anytime, just like crazy shit. And I felt a type of way about it. I kind of felt like I was like, man, I'm soliciting. I felt like it was just like I was unsolicited. People, they didn't want to see it. They didn't want it. But I feel like with what we're doing with the social media, it's showing them that we can help them if they have that problem, and then giving them the option to see our content on a consistent basis, and by their own doings, the choice to book in for the haircut with you. So it feels really pure. It feels good. It feels like we're actually just, hey, here's our product, and we're here to help. And if that's something that you would need, then we're here to help out with that. But that's the biggest problem that I find that most barbers have is in the barbering industry. And we could talk about that on a bigger scale with barbershop owners and this type of thing, is that they don't understand how to acquire those new clients. So once you understand how to acquire those new clients with a predictable and consistent system, then we can predictably scale your business, based on how much that we're putting into the ad, what our return on our ad spend is, tracking all those metrics like we've done. Then you can see, okay, well, I can project, it's crazy to think like there's lots of businesses, they're like, oh, well, we have projected sales growth of this much over this time. Well, how do they do this? Oh, they understand how business works. It's a totally different ball game when you go from understanding from the information to just where you're at, just, firing at the hip, hoping that, maybe one of your Instagram posts goes viral and you get some clients off it, and wondering how you did it. But once you understand, it's like, I think about the gym always, is like, once you know how to train and to diet and how to sleep and all of these things, you put them all together, you're going to get the result you want. So that's
Right.
great. But I'm happy that we solved that problem.
Yeah.
So now, coming out of the program, what would you say is the number one, the biggest takeaway coming out of the program? And that could be anything. That could be business wise, mindset, anything, personal.
So I was going to share this earlier. So when we were initially talking, we kind of had like I guess it was just like an initial Zoom call, you know? And I just had a good feeling. I was like, I think this guy really knows his stuff, you know? And also, I really like that you were a barber as well. I think that there are a lot of things in marketing that transfer to other businesses, but like you've owned multiple shops, you've been behind the chair, you've been in the day-to-day grind. So that authority on the situation just made me really gravitate to you. But I was talking to my wife and I go, it's going to be this much per month, but I really see it's going to be a huge, benefit. She goes, well, what would be the difference of like, because you're paying him and but you're still going to be doing the work. So like, what would be the difference between you going to pay somebody else? And then I remember I asked you that, and you were saying like, well, you're going to be able to take this skill and learn it for yourself so that way can continue it down the road and you're not going to have to be reliant on another person or business to be relying on them to do this for you. Like you're going to be able to learn it. So with that, and that's exactly what happened. You learn the skills, you learn the techniques and the strategies, and then once you kind of internalize them, they resonate with you more. And so I think it just becomes more of a day-to-day practice. Like now when I'm posting on my stories, it's just, I don't want to say second nature, but it's definitely more a part of me. Like I understand sales and marketing from a different way. And you kind of tap into like the psychological, like, okay, this is what people are going to be drawn to, this is what they're going to resonate with, this is how you draw on what people's needs are, this is how you make yourself, look better than the other places because you are, but they don't know that you are. So how can you really bring that to them, that bring them to that understanding? So all that to say, my favorite takeaway would be the just clearer, more depth of an understanding of marketing and sales. And, I can carry that on with me in the months and years to come.
Hey, let's go. Yeah, that's one thing, like you said, because that was I remember saying that now with the fitness coaching, because like I said, I worked with different fitness coaches and then I always have to go back to them because I was like, man, like how did they get me in shape? And then I finally figured out like the knowledge that they had, and I'm like, oh, now I have the power. Now I can get in shape whenever I want. So that's the same thing with the business. And I like that you say that because yeah, you could hire a social media marketing agency to do all of that for you, but at the end of the day, you could be like, oh, if I stop paying them so much a month, then I'm not going to be able to get the results because I haven't learned the information that they have. So now you have those tools, you have that to move forward in the business, and that's what I always say to everyone is, like that was in our first call is like, when you make that investment, obviously you're going to see a return on the investment, in that, even in our, say, once we get the ad running in our first month, you're going to see a return on the investment. But what is that return going to look like, 20, 30 years from now, as you get into your business and you continue to keep growing it, you scale and you get multiple barbershops. And this is the main piece that you need to know, especially owning a business and getting those new clients into the door. Because just like on our last interview with our other client, Morales, I was saying to him, like, if you think about it, let's just say you had 200 clients, but you had, you were like, I'm going to open up a barbershop, 10 chairs, 10 barbers, but I got 200 clients and I don't know how to get any new ones. It's like, man, everyone's going to starve. So that's just the skill set of like learning how to get or how to give people consistent haircuts and they're happy with the service. It's also a skill set to learn how to get them in to the door. And like I always say, on any of the calls that we do is like on our interviews is like, there's no gatekeeping here. We'll tell you exactly how we do it. We do it through Instagram targeted ads and marketed content speaking to a specific person. And when you learn these types of things and how to speak to somebody's problem, it sets us apart so much different than everybody else. Because everyone else is just trying to, I feel like kind of just, hey, look how good of a barber I am. But we have to remember always like it's our client. That's who we're always solving the problem for. And that's at the end of the day who's exchanging us the money for the service that we can provide. And that's how we grow a business. So yeah, I'm super happy that you have that skill set now to take with you for the rest of your life. And even in the future, if you were to go into a different business, you still always know I need clients and this is how I get them.
Yeah.
So do you feel that with the information and new skill sets that you have gained, we solve the problem within your business?
That and more.
Let's go.
100%. What was it? 176?
That's it. 176 new clients in 96 days that the ad was running, but 68 days of being in the shop. So
That's many, bro. I remember the beginning, I
I
was like,
wonder, like, let's just say if you didn't sign up for the coaching, but we still track the numbers organically, like, just say, like, hypothetically speaking, like, how many would you be? Like, would it be like 17 new clients in this time frame compared to 176, or maybe 20, or like what would the organic growth be compared to having, paid ads? I wonder what it would be.
I know.
I wouldn't want to know.
Not anywhere close. I mean, there's some word of mouth, but even the word of mouth, that's going to be from, your clientele. And like I said in the beginning, off of 50 people, that's not a lot of word of mouth. Like those people have already been rocking with me, so it's like that word of mouth has already kind of ran out. But the new people, that's even more word of mouth.
Yeah.
So talking about like lifetime value of a client, like they refer to family, friends, whoever else over time. So it
Yeah.
just continues to multiply. Yeah.
And I think too, like, yeah, it's a great thing to, I just personally myself, like, I think it's a great thing to be able to say to someone like, hey, if you could refer anyone to me, I'd really appreciate that. And just kind of like maybe that's as far as it could go. But if you're like pushing people, that type of thing, like, hey, like, did you remind those people to refer people to me? Hey, did you? It's like it's kind of that's kind of sleazeball, it's kind of, it's a little salesy, it's a little pushy. I don't like to run personally my business like that. There's certain things I'll do for reminders, but I always ultimately like those people to make the decision on their own, because that's what
Yeah.
I think. I think sales is leading somebody to a successful conclusion of what it is that they want to do, and
Right.
not what I want them to do. Because then
Yeah.
I did. Go ahead.
I don't know. So I'll let you finish, but I was just remembering what I think my strategy was if I wasn't going to go with you. I was going to I was gonna try and print out like a card that said like first one free, and like if they referred someone, give them the card, and then it'd be like theirs is free, and then give like half off or a free one to my that existing client. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Which is not, I guess, bad, but it just seems like so corny and like ineffective compared to what I know now. But that's, I think, what I was gonna try and do.
Let's go. That's a classic. Undervalue your skill set to try to get new clients and keep the ones you currently have. That's what barbers do. That's the name of the game here in the barbering industry right now.
Dude, and think if that would have costed me, like that would have been cheaper than coaching. No way.
Definitely not. It would have been wouldn't have been cheaper than ads, and yeah, the
And
bottom
and
line would have shrunk.
and even like perceived value is not there, and digitally there's no perceived value. So yeah.
Definitely. All right. Next question. Did you find implementing our strategies into your business was easy, moderate, or hard to do while um, uh, working full time?
I would say they were easy, and I would say now that I am, 40 hours a week and I'm cutting a lot more hair than I was in the beginning, um, it can be a little bit more of a challenge. The stories are not challenge, and I think that there's, like we've talked about, strategies and things to make it not that. There's really no excuse. And even more so, what I'm going to continue to do is, invest in more professional filming and editing. So even then, like we've talked about, and to like kind of have a backlog of content that you've already done. I think if you go about it the right way, it even continues to be easy, even though you're still full time behind the chair. In the beginning, when I was only a couple cuts a day, obviously you have more time for it, which is actually beneficial because you're, kind of developing a skill. And I would just, watch some of the videos that are in the Barber Mentor course. So I just, began to study and like implement things and reach out to you for help and kind of, get little corrections and stuff here and there. Um, but the strategies themselves are, very straightforward. I'd say it's pretty intuitive. And but you're asking if it's more full time.
Yeah, like, just was it, did you find it, like, because I know a lot of people, when we say, if we chat, or if it's a discovery call, sales call, whatever you want to call it, that as soon as I say, oh, we post, every day type of thing for the consistency, so it starts to influence their beliefs, like, oh, like, I gotta post every day. Like, did you find that the consistent posting, it was a lot of work, or maybe it was a little bit of work at the start and then it got to be easy once you kind of mastered the skill? Because obviously everything, there's a learning curve to it.
Yeah, I would say with that, you kind of have to check what your schedule is because a lot of people have a lot of holes with what they think they're busy, but really it's a lot of leisure. It's a lot of time not being that, disciplined and effective with your minutes. And so, yeah, I'd say it was easy. And then as time got harder, or I'm sorry, as time got on, it was more moderate for me. But that was because, um, I have other things going on, not to make excuses, but there, just there's a certain level of busyness where um, I haven't gotten to that point yet of being able to implement strategies of being more effective with it. So I'm kind of at the cusp of that, which I'll, continue to grow in. So I would say it was kind of like easier, and then got to be a little bit more moderate, but definitely never got to the point of being like, overwhelmed or, impossible to do.
Nice. Let's go. Yeah. And that's what I find too is like you say, a lot of people they have there's an excuse for everything with lots of people, but when you don't have a choice and you want to succeed, then obviously you eliminate the things that you don't need, you figure it out. And that's one of the biggest things like I say to everyone is like, okay, well, if you know that you have to create this content and it's a part of your work, then you should block off an extra half hour at the end of the day to do your content, to make that post, because a successful business person would realize that this is a massive impact to their business, to grow the business. So it's just like block that time off. It's just like brushing your teeth. We all learned like that's super important. You have to do that every day, and this is kind of the same thing. So it's like making that time to do that. But
Mhm.
but yeah, I definitely would agree with you. So moving forward, you're going into opening up your own shop and scaling that and hiring staff and these types of things. Do you feel now with this information, you're more confident with in growing that business?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Because I because what I'm really envisioning is having a presence in the community, a presence in the city that I'm in, and obviously that's going to be in person with the shop, but digital presence is big, and mainly what I mean by that is just your socials, and then on Google, and then maybe you have a website. That's good too. But I would say now that I have a growing Instagram where the content is very professional. I mean, I get compliments on it all the time. Like people are like, man, I like how you have the columns. I like how it's really clean. And um, anyways, yeah. So they're just really, they enjoy that. And then because of the free haircut raffle that you told me about, we did that, and I got over 100 reviews in 2 months. And so I would say like now of where my branding is and my digital presence within the community, it does give me more confidence because I'm like, okay, how I've been able to use this to acquire clients and to like really solidify my business. And I really like perceived value. Like when you taught me about perceived value, it just really goes hand in hand with all that. And that's always kind of what I'm thinking about too, because perceived value is very beneficial, and you can leverage that to grow your prices, grow your clientele, grow your brand, your size of how many barbers you have, and also the confidence of like, okay, now I do really feel like I could sustain a shop with other barbers and help funnel people to them because I have this acquisition system, I have strategies, and my online presence is only growing. And even if I did want to use my Instagram, website, etc., to market to other barbers in the area, that's only going to help with that hugely. So, you know, say even if it comes down to like, okay, running an ad and speaking to certain points where barbers are going to want to come and work with me, maybe they're tired of being in like the busy loud shops and they want something a little bit more professional and private. Like that's how I can draw them in and market to them. Otherwise, if I didn't have that, same thing, I'm not going to know about them, they're not going to know about me. So anyways, yeah, to answer your question, I mean, just the confidence with all of that is, it wouldn't be there without the coaching for sure.
Let's go. And it's funny too, because now I think about it, like where you were even when we very first hopped on a call, and then, just getting to know each other and watching your business and yourself grow throughout these past couple months. It's crazy how how we cross paths and then you got the opportunity to grow the shop. It's almost like it's perfect timing that this information came to you, and now you're about to, make a big leap inside your business and take it to that next level. But obviously having this information, and that's one thing that I was thinking today is I made a post, and I was just thinking about in my life in general, and sometimes being scared or nervous to take that leap of faith. But every single time that I've ever made the decision, I said, I don't care about what external things could be weighing on me. I'm not going to logically, overthink it. I'm just going to go with my heart, my intuition, and trust that it's all going to work out. And every one of the tools that I need to make this happen is going to come at the perfect timing. And it always does. And I think that a lot of people get a little kind of too wrapped up in thinking about, well, this has to be like that and da 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 before making that leap. But everything will come to you at the right time, and that's a perfect example of it. And even myself, when I did fitness coaching, I was thinking about it. I grew this fitness coaching business solely off of organic marketing, and now to see like it's so hard to grow a business off of organic marketing. But what I did is I had a massive audience that already knew, like, and trusted me. So that's the reason why I was to do that. And looking back, it's like, man, now knowing what I know, like man, I can't believe I took that leap of faith. But it now looking back, it all adds together, it all lines up. So it's just like gives me my own testimony for the future to be like, if I just move in that direction and I have faith and have courage and I'm fearless, it's all going to work out. So that's a huge thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to be willing to, get outside the comfort zone. And it might be getting outside your comfort zone to admit that you need, help from a coach and actually, you know, decide to make the investment for you to get that benefit. But you have to be willing to do that, especially if you're trying to scale a business and grow in that way. So I completely agree.
Yeah. So last question of you for this evening is, would you recommend another barber into the Barber Mentor Academy, and why?
Absolutely. I would say that there are, many barbers, it's actually the majority, who I think some people might, kind of have some, intuitive understanding, or they just kind of happen to get some certain things right as far as marketing on Instagram. But definitely the majority are, they're not equipped with any of this. And even certain people, they're just not like understanding of this wave. It's kind of a new wave to me, but maybe not so much for other people. Like the wave of marketing and ads on Instagram, and people use Facebook and Google as well, but they're just not so like privy to it. They're like, people would come on my chair and some would know like, oh, I saw your ad, and other people would be like, oh, my phone must have been listening because you just popped up on my phone. And I would tell people, I mean, I would obviously be transparent, like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm running an ad right now. And they're like, okay, cool. Well, it worked. I'm here. And so I was very transparent with a lot of people. And then I think they actually really like responded favorably to that. They're like, man, this guy is hungry. He's tenacious. He wants to scale his business. He's willing to do what it takes to grow. And not only that, but I would be like dropping a lot of nuggets to people as far as like, oh yeah, people want to do business with people who they know, like, and trust. And I post with a certain, intentionality. And like, if you explain value, connection, and social proof to people, they kind of like you just took them through a little mini marketing class. And so, yeah, I told a lot of people about it, and I would definitely, recommend it to other barbers. It's you're you're leaving money and opportunity on the table if you don't. I think that it's vital. I mean, as much as you invest in new clippers, as much as you care about, presentation, professionalism, your marketing is actually more important than those other aspects, and have to be like a strong foundation of your business. And so I think every barber needs to step it up and just kind of get with the times.
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing that hit me hard years ago. And Grant Cardone, he said the first thing that people take away from, they stop investing in when times get tough, is their advertising and their marketing budgets, businesses. He said, but at the end of the day, that's the most important thing that's driving new sales into their business. So,
Mhm.
just like you said, a lot of barbers are really keen on investing in their tools and these types of things. But at the end of the day, if you don't have that inflow of new clients, it's hard to increase your prices. It's hard to target new people that are looking to invest into haircuts that are at those price points, that are at those levels of service. And as barbers, as we get more and more years in the industry and we become better at our craft, I believe, just like anything else, you should be able to earn more money. But when you say, if you work for a business that has an employer, and he sees, oh, hey, yeah, you're getting way better, way more proficient at what you're doing, here's a raise, here's a raise. As barbers, when we work for ourselves, we have to learn how to do that for ourselves as our skill sets rise, is to be able to give ourselves those raise with attracting new people that have a bigger problem. They're looking for those services that you're giving at that high level. So yeah, I couldn't agree more with you on that. But with that being said, brother, I appreciate you. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you over these last couple months, 3 months, and getting to help you grow your business. But also, I give a big thanks to you for helping me grow my business. And you know, I look forward to seeing where the future takes both of us with especially the knowledge that we have now. But like we said, just to review, 176 new clients. That's 176 in 96 days of working together, start to finish. And like we say, that's 68 working days in the shop. So I can't give you enough credit for that. That's absolutely amazing. And you know, just going forward, just to keep utilizing the systems that we've put in place, stay consistent, and keep leveling up your game. But with that being said, brother, I want to say thank you for being a part of the academy, and I'll leave the rest to you.
Of course, bro. Thank you so much. I mean, I want to thank you because you know, not only do you teach it, but you model it. And people can look at your IG, both your barber mentor and your personal page for barbering, and you live it, you model it, and you've, you know, gone above and beyond to, and I'm there's that trust there because I'm like, this guy really cares about the well-being of me and my business, you know? And so once I like detected that early on, I'm like, okay, this guy, he's gonna pour into me. He's not gonna withhold anything from me, and he's gonna be willing to, you know, go above and beyond and just do what it takes to have, you know, have my success because he's gonna feel successful when I'm successful and vice versa, you know. So yeah, couldn't thank you enough more, and just really appreciate, you know, all the hard work and everything that you taught me.
Let's go. It's that's what it's about, is dropping all the gems we got just to help each other out.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. Well, that'll be the end of our client success interview, and we'll leave it at that.
Sweet, bro. Appreciate it.